Doo-doo-doo. And welcome everyone here, and thank you for coming out once again to another extreme set down behind the mic talk with Matt. And this week's special guest on the podcast, our brand new, representative from our brand new channel partner, the Nerds Doing Nerds Things podcast here with AJ.
You'll get used to it.
Yeah, I'll get used to it. I'll get there. With Mr. AJ. Well, AJ, buddy, we were supposed to broadcast or do a race, but that didn't happen. So now we're recording an episode with no planning. I mean, you know, what could possibly go wrong here?
A lot of things, but, you know, as what my co-host says, oh shit, you guys are unsupervised. So we can pretty much just get into absolutely everything, and I'll just get in trouble for it later.
And then, boo, co-host, you can't stop us, because by the time you realize we did it, it's going to be live. So, yeah, no, sorry, unsupervised. Well, AJ, first and foremost, we worked out the deal the other night to get the partnership going, and I think it's turning out well so far.
Yeah, 2 days in, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I tune into a lot of your races anyway, but it's pretty cool to see my podcast, you know, intro and logo pop up at the beginning of each event. And I'm like, that's pretty dope. I'm happy we were able to do this. I am very thrilled to be partnered with you, Matt, and the Extreme Sim TV channel.
Same here. Of course, you got AJ over there on Nerds Doing Nerds Things podcast. You got Mrs. Co-host over there.
Hi,
Susie.
Well.
Susie, how you doing? We're innocent. This was totally not AJ's ideal.
Hey, fill content.
Fill content, exactly. But man, I tell you what, we were talking about a little bit beforehand. You're still a wrestling fan, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So here's my side rant. Are you ready?
Uh-oh, ding ding.
The WWE product is garbage. AEW is somewhat good now that CM Punk is there. And where is my Lita? Get her back in action even with a broken neck. That's my side rant.
So, now, that's your hot take. Do you want my opinion on that? Because I don't know if you're going to like it as well as, you know, how hot take yours is.
Go ahead.
So, with WWE, their in-ring talent is fantastic. Their in-ring matches are awesome. Outside of last night's finish between Roman Reigns and Finn Balor, the in-ring stuff is awesome. AEW's in-ring stuff, I feel, is very good to awesome. It gives me goosebumps to see all these dream matches that I never thought I would see in AEW. But where AEW is, I think, really good is they're doing these dream matches that everybody wants to see. So you're looking at the ratings, which please don't look at the ratings. Enjoy whatever you enjoy. AEW, you know, you get Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and they're literally the whole Bullet Club.
Yeah,
and then some.
Yeah, the only thing you don't have is AJ, which that's debatable if he'll ever. I would like to see it before he retires. Maybe AJ comes to AEW. And you're correct. The in-ring action, I will say, is great. Okay?
It's the storytelling
yes.
that... The not in-ring storytelling, like the backstage promos, the in-ring promos. If you're not into that, like, I think WWE is great for kids and young adults. I think AEW really panders to the, you know, late teens to adults, because I feel and I like them both. I really do. I enjoy both for what they are. I think AEW, with what they are doing with their talent and these matches, feels more of like an Attitude Era kind of thing, and correct. WWE still feels like they're in the PG era.
Yeah, okay. And I want to clarify on my standpoint. I love the Attitude Era, right? No, we do not need bra and panties matches back, and no sense of the word does that need to happen, right? That just doesn't.
No.
But what
you don't need chair shots, you know, head shots.
You don't need that. You don't need chair shots, head shots. You don't need a man flying off a sail that there's no safe way to take the bomb. Mick. That could have killed him. But
almost killed him.
There is no natural storytelling abilities, I feel, other than CM Punk. Other than, I don't even count The Rock anymore because he's been out of the game. Cena had it somewhat. You tell me, who is coming up now that gets that? Brian Pillman Jr., maybe?
For what I've seen with him, I think there's a lot of talent and they're going to be pushing him to the moon. What I would look for in AEW, if you want to see where they're going to go, like I also think Hangman Page as well. I think of the moon for Hangman Page. I would see who they match up against Jericho or a Punk, or Punk and Darby Allin. You'll see where they're going to put their stake in, because they wouldn't be having these veteran talent and good workers working with these young guys if they didn't think, okay, well, let's put these guys through their paces, maybe see how they can hold a storyline, see how they can hold a match with these guys,
right,
and go from there. Like, I think Chris Jericho was the perfect first-time champion. Yes. Because he's the known name, and you go from there. Then you have Jon Moxley, which Dean Ambrose, for all you WWE guys, he's another known name. And then Kenny Omega, who, to the U.S. audience, if you're not watching New Japan or any of that, you really didn't know who Kenny Omega was, and AEW was your first shot at him. And now he's the top guy, and they pretty much all formed this Bullet Club again.
Exactly. And here's the thing with wrestling right now. It is the last time that I had gotten invested as far as buying merch, right? Which, side note, there's a story, we'll circle back to that here in a little bit. But
I got plenty of stories before we're over, but continue.
Yeah. The last time I was invested was way back when TNA was hot. And I'm talking...
Oh, God.
I'm talking before the Hogan intro. Right? Because when Hogan came in, changed it back to four-sided ring with Eric Bischoff, behind the scenes, that killed TNA. Once Jeff was out of power, you may like Jeff Jarrett, you may not like Jeff Jarrett, but you can't deny that Jeff Jarrett was smart. Now, where Jeff Jarrett wasn't smart was bringing in fucking Russo and his band of cronies, which that's another topic for another day. I'll stand with Jim Cornette on Vince Russo. I wouldn't. I just do not stand with Russo at all. But Jeff had a shot. Now, when Dixie went to Power, and this is going to bring us back to AEW. So when Dixie went to Power in the overtime, TNA went to the garbage can, for lack of better words. It created a vacuum, I feel. Everybody went to NXT. Everybody went to WWE. Same difference, same company. For the first time, we have a competitor that makes it interesting. And AJ, guess what? 3 weeks ago, for the first time in 7-8 years, I came in an ace of buying a pay-per-view for $50.
Shit.
You could not get me to buy a WWE pay-per-view. I don't even watch it on Peacock. But with the CM Punk return, I just about bought one. And it's because AEW is hot. Now, unfortunately, I do broadcasting. I broadcast on Wednesdays. I have a bad habit of not going back and rewatching the show because I have a weird thing about watching things that are not live. I hate that. But I'm going to do some name drops. I keep up with it with Soul Monster Sounds Off. The Jim Cornette Experience and all kinds of, wrestling-related podcasts that's kept me in the loop all these years. So I think me and you agree on the in-ring action. I wish, though, God, if AEW had not shot themselves in the foot with the bridge to Cornette, that could have been a match made in heaven right there.
Yeah.
But, he's not going to go there because he hates the Young Bucks. Let's be honest here. But to be fair, I got a question for you. When AEW started, the Young Bucks were untouchable as a higher up in the company, whatever they want to call themselves. But with the rise in popularity, when does Tony and those, in the family say, yeah, some of these guys are not untouchable? The Bucks. Argument to Cody.
See, I don't think they view him as untouchable. I think you need to build the villain up so high so you can bring in a babyface or a babyface team to face the Young Bucks to take the titles off.
But here's the thing. Who is that babyface team you could even bring in?
Good question. Very good question. I don't know. Who have they been wrestling right now?
Jurassic Express. I know they did a little bit with them a while back. You can't bring in the Hardys. That's another pet peeve of mine. Bringing in old school is not going to fix the problem.
No, you need to start building around these new guys. Like, it's good to have the older guys, but you really you need new guys.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
Well, it'd be a heel versus a heel, but you got FTR.
FTR, yeah.
But if the Young Bucks, which they are heels. The whole group of them are heels.
Right.
And so is the FTR.
Wow, I just it's kind of a shock to the system that there is no great tag teams that you could bring in right now. It's sad because Vince doesn't much care for tag teams. He never has, never will, right? So on that side of things are not being cultivated. You don't have ECW around. I know that's years old to date my reference, but you don't have an ECW style promotion to build certain stars, right? Like, I don't know. I don't even know who you could, to be honest.
Unless you're just going to put two wrestlers together and make them a tag team,
Right. Now,
I kind of just in like the wait and see mode, because the way wrestling normally is, and I know you'll agree on this, a good feud is built by a really, really heavy
angle,
like hated, heel.
It's even better if it's got some merit to the truth of the angle.
Yeah.
What made the Karen Jarrett angle with Kurt?
Oh my God.
And them so good because it was based in reality.
Yeah.
And Kurt wanted to rip Jeff's head off legitimately. And unfortunately, I can't blame Kurt. Right. Yeah, and that's the problem. But then you go into an angle like the AJ. Who was the girl that was pregnant with AJ's kids? Claire Witch, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
That was horrible. And so if you look at what we could have done, if you want me to fantasy book for a second, here's what I would have liked to seen happen. You ready?
Go for it.
Edge never comes back to the WWE. All right, first. Edge comes to AEW, right? Say he's getting beat up by the Young Bucks, right? All right. And then you bring in, and everybody's going to say he's going to say Christian. Nope, not going to say Christian. You know who I would have brought in? Gangrel.
Yeah, I don't.
And now
that's really fantasy booking, because I don't think Gangrel looks very well right now.
He don't, but AEW wanted to work with him. So what you could have done, not as a match even, you could have brought Gangrel in, right? They could have started the Brood. Gangrel ain't able to wrestle, but they could have grabbed another talent, introduced them into the Brood, and now you've got an Edge and Talent B to at least somewhat get Talent B up, and maybe in the future another young kid joins the Brood to take Edge's place. Now you've got Gangrel as a manager of the Brood. Edge can go back to living life with, I think it's Beth Phoenix he's with, right?
Yeah, he's with Beth Phoenix.
Save the neck, and there you go. But, that's me trying to book it in the standpoint that we keep Edge okay, we elevate two new people, and we go from there. Because everybody's going to say, oh, Edge and Christian. Well, it's the same as the Hardys. What would you gain from that? nothing in the long term of booking.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I think Edge came back to WWE because he feels like he didn't get to finish his story there.
Well, true. But I'm also taking kind of logic out of it, right? Logic says he would not go. And it's the same as, I'd even make the same argument as Goldberg. Imagine this, instead of Goldberg coming back to WWE for the millionth time, before AEW went to TBS at the start of the year, you would have had the pop of, Goldberg back on TNT for the first time in 20 some odd years. It would be the same thing as Sting. But that's not a long-term plan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I hate seeing them use old talent and leaving them in the top spot. However, I don't mind them bringing them in and pulling a Sting Darby Allin move. And everybody's going to tune into this and think, what in the world? Matt does more than broadcasting. There's a lot of interest
we just spent, 10, 15 minutes just bullshitting about wrestling?
Yeah, that's kind of the point. That's not about suplex the mic there, but anyway.
My mic was expensive. I'm not suplexing it.
No, I'm trying not to suplex mine either, but I know a certain girlfriend of mine that would like to suplex me right now and put me through a table and hit me with a barbed wire bat and just go through the whole rigmarole.
That sounds very painful. Good thing I don't know your wife.
Yeah, it's a good thing. You know, she can get rowdy when I say stupid things.
I'd rather not get my ass kicked very well.
Well, we all know co-host does that enough.
Hey, whoa. Just in case she listens to this, I don't want to give her more, ammo and, more, like, hey, let me fuck with AJ even more.
Wait, okay. What's your co-host's name?
Susie.
And we got to share this clip. Susie, listen up. You're the best. You can take AJ any day of the week. Don't let this man back talk to you.
Whoa. She already knows that, pal.
And
she has no problem, whacking me upside the head or, accidentally, quote, punch me.
But I'm smart enough to team up with the co-host, see? That gets me out of trouble.
Yeah, but you're literally throwing me in front of the double-decker bus called her fist.
Well, that's a you problem, buddy. That's not a me problem.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that one.
Right. I mean, it's not me that's going to get knocked out. It's AJ that's going to get knocked out.
So why are you second?
Because I'm smart enough to not get hit by the other woman. Oh, man, AJ. Well, AJ, I got a question for you.
What's up, pal?
You're in sim racing as well, right?
Yeah.
So how does your journey to sim racing, what does that look like, and how long have you been doing it?
My journey to it. My journey started about 7 years ago when I had this really shitty PC, and I was like, hey, wait, I have a PC. Let me try iRacing.
Right.
I did that for about a month, realized my computer couldn't run it, and it took me 7 years to finally get the money together to build an actual, supercomputer that can run iRacing very well and a bunch of other shit.
Well, there you have it. I mean, it built. Look, that's the thing. The barrier to entry of iRacing is, I want to say, higher now than ever, I think. Well,
you can use a maybe $500 computer.
Right.
But you're not going to, graphically, you're not going to get it. You might get a little lag, frame rate wise. I spent, and I don't want to say I spent. It was a birthday, Christmas, and birthday present, 1, 2, 3, for like a year and a half from my friends and myself. Because I've always wanted a computer. We all pitched in, and we pretty much put a lot of money into this thing. And they're like, this is your birthday present, your Christmas present, and next year's birthday present. And we did it.
Right. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I have an awesome group of friends.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what iRacing's always going to be about, I think, is the community aspect of it all.
Oh no, this was just like my normal podcasting group that bought this. Now I have iRacing friends because of the supercomputer.
Well, the iRacing fans are cool too, right?
Oh yeah. I'm in 2 leagues. I run with Nighthawk Motorsports on Monday and Wednesdays. Unfortunately, tonight I'm not running with them because I didn't know if I was going to make it or not.
Right. I was signed up to run with them, but then broadcasting conflicts and such.
And I will say, Nighthawk, his whole league, it's fantastic. Monday, you have street stock, late model, and legends cars. I know nothing about dirt, but I know he runs dirt on Tuesdays. And on Wednesdays, you have the modified races and ARCA. He runs fantastic leagues, like races, absolutely fantastic. It's $5 a month, and you could run all his races.
I've actually done that. It is a steal of a deal, guys. If you're looking to get into it, look up Nighthawk because, again, it's great racing.
And the group of guys there, I've learned so much. That was my first league I was in before I joined SRL.
Right.
And I'm a back marker in their league, but I'm a back marker learning from the fast guys.
Right. And that's the thing, you're learning in SRL, and as we know, SRL on the channel, and we get the privilege of following kind of the learning curve. Now, my question, as far as NT Motorsports, how did that all come about?
Well, let me start. NDNT is obviously nerds doing nerd things, and motorsports. Well, in SRL, Scott Taylor, the owner of SRL, threw out there, let's throw out teams there that really not going to do much outside of strategize and, maybe plate tracks. So I'm just like, you know what? This can help promote Nerds Doing Nerd Things, the podcast, by having a team and see if people want to join. And, the finishes we could get, if we're top 3, top 5, top 10, maybe, it'll pop up Nerds Doing Nerd Things. Not fucking knowing David freaking Medina Sr. would win 3 times.
Yeah, and you end up top 3s and yeah. It really came in to help you guys out.
Oh, absolutely. And it was first Dave, and then Sean Cheeseman came in. Then my buddy Ryan Fry, who I race with and play games with on Xbox. And now we just brought in Kevin Bullock, who is the 62 car, who just won this week. Go back and watch it. He just won at Chicagoland. And we had her one of our biggest acquisitions so far in the league owner now, Scott Taylor, is on our team. So he's part of NDNT now. So we're stacked. And then you got myself, who is still learning, but I can safely say I've gotten better every week we've ran.
Yeah, and you are doing a lot better, man. You're doing great. And here's the thing, how do you balance sim racing versus other games versus, the podcast and everything you've got going on?
Well, I don't want to say it's difficult because it's really not. I have the podcast that I normally do either on Tuesday or Thursdays. We pick a day ahead of time. That's when we're doing it.
Right.
Sometimes, like this week, we're doing 2 episodes. But Mondays, I'm either going to race with Nighthawk or I'm going to broadcast with you.
Right. Which is great.
Depending on what time we're done there, I'm going to hook up my wheel and start practicing for either Wednesday for Nighthawk or Friday for SRL. What I do is, you don't have to run, 200 laps one night. You just run. You just get in a test lobby, or even what I like doing is going into the AIs, the AI racing, because it allows you to run around, even though they're AI cars, other vehicles.
Exactly. You get around traffic, right?
And that's what I think has helped me a lot is the AIs, because I'll throw them on maybe between amateur and almost a pro.
Right.
You know, I'm not finishing first. I'm not finishing in the top 10, but I'm getting lap times. I'm learning how to get around a track. I'm learning how to run within traffic. You know, I'm learning how to get lapped.
All the fun stuff, right?
Well, it's fun because the harder things are, at least for me, the harder things are, the more of I want to get better at it.
Exactly. That's me too. The harder it is. And I actually run on a league on Wednesdays that are pay to enter. And we go to Watkins Glen this week, and it's a pay to enter truck league. And we got a brand new partner on the truck, and this is kind of an announcement. So I will be running the number 6 or the number 1 Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast truck.
What? What?
Imagine that.
Okay, I'm intrigued to see this.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my painter to paint up a truck, and I don't know what all he's gonna put on it. I gave him the logo. I told him the idea of the podcast, and I'm like, go have fun. So I'm afraid what's gonna be on there a little bit.
So is that league broadcasted? Because I'm sharing that straight to the pages.
Yes, that is broadcasted.
Oh boy! And you said Wednesday?
Yes. We'll be running Watkins Glen Wednesday. So I'll get to pilot the number 1 Nerds Doing Nerds Things podcast truck around the Glen, and pretty good road courser I am. Hopefully bring home a win. If I don't, I'm afraid the girlfriend and the co-host might throw something at me if I wreck that truck.
I mean, publicity is publicity. Just being up front will show the car.
So you want me just to just hold it wide open at turn 1, just go flying through the gravel?
No. Then you get publicity for about 10 seconds. Like, look at this dumbass that just went headfirst into the turn 1 wall.
Right.
And then back to the leader. And they're like, no, go back to the guy that went headfirst Jimmy Johnson style into the wall.
Right. You know the Nürburgring, right?
Yes. Oh, God.
I almost won the last race of the week at the Nürburgring and the Cadillac.
Oh, God.
Dude literally moved me at the Nürburgring. How you move somebody at the Nürburgring, I would never understand. And how I kept the car straight, I would never understand.
Yeah.
That was
I hated running the Nürburgring just for if it was like Gran Turismo or Forza where you had to run the whole like track and not just the GP.
Yes, that
track.
We were running the whole thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's a lot of mileage.
Yep. It's like 14 miles. I ran there earlier today, ran well. But yeah, that truck will make its debut. I'm talking as we speak, actually, with my painter, trying to come up with ideals. Who knows what he's going to have me running there, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And that's the thing. We can partner with the channel. There's a lot of cool off-the-wall things, because I've already shocked AJ twice today in one day. And literally, and I'm not kidding, all podcasters say this, AJ had no clue before we come on the air.
No, not really. No.
Nothing about it. He knew the other deal with the T-shirts, which, guys, if you're watching the podcast, and I know a few of you's messaged me about T-shirts, I'm going to say a 30-day from now we'll start having some available, because it's going to be there's a lot of research already went into it. I got to figure out if I'm going to do a storefront, if I'm individually going to get them out, how many I'm going to have on hand to even give out and sell. There's a lot that goes into merch when you start talking merch. And because I'm a smaller channel too, and I'm a small-ish broadcaster as far as probably medium range now, it's a little bit more difficult to make everything add up, but I am bound to determine by at least before Christmas to have merch. That is my goal. And so
goals are what they are. You know, you go for them.
Yeah.
Make them. Try to achieve them. If you can't achieve them, maybe look at your goal again and try to think of a new way to get to it.
Exactly. That's kind of the way we've done this whole Extreme Sim TV thing, right? If people's going to tune into this podcast and be like, they've talked about wrestling, they've talked about... Well, that's what this podcast is going to be. This is Behind the Mic with me. You get to sit down and know a little bit about me, and the guests that come on here is the whole plan, right? Like, I do so much with iRacing, and I love iRacing, without a doubt. But there's so many other things that I actually love and enjoy, too.
Well, I've only been iRacing for, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 months consistently. Because after like the first month, like 7 years ago, I was like, this isn't for me right now until I get something different.
Right.
But consistently for the last 4 months, this has been so much fun.
Right. So I'm going to throw this out here to you. Would you like to know my favorite superhero-ish movie of all time?
Sure, go for it, and I'll let you know mine.
The original Deadpool.
Okay,
no,
the one that came out about 5 years ago.
Yeah, not the second one, the original. It was so funny, man. It was
great. It was hilarious.
In so many ways.
It was absolutely hilarious, and I followed Deadpool well before that to realize how raunchy and how funny he can be from the comic books. To see Ryan Reynolds, who is, like, I'm sorry, he's not even Ryan Reynolds anymore. He's just freaking Deadpool. Right. To hit, because he championed for that.
And not only that, he broke the fourth wall a little bit a lot of the times.
Well, yeah, that's normal for Deadpool, which is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it was just so great. And the second one I didn't think was as good. I don't think.
See, I enjoyed the second one. Like, you're right. It wasn't as good as the first one, but I feel like it was still very, very good. Right. You know, maybe there was a little too much studio involvement, or I don't know. But I still found it to be very good.
I agree. I kind of come back with you on that. It was decent, but it wasn't what I personally was looking for. And I don't exactly know what it was I was looking for. It just didn't meet it.
I don't know. If you didn't like Deadpool 2, at least you had to like the ending of it.
Yes, I did.
When he goes back in time, fixes a couple timelines.
Right, because see that now that tied into my whole geeky science brain, right? Because you cannot tell me, and you see it depicted in movies, and it's a good option. What if we could do that, right? Like, that makes you think. Because everybody says I wouldn't change a thing because it got me where I am today, right?
Bullshit, I'd play yesterday's lotto numbers.
Yeah, reality is, no, thank you. I'm going to go back to, like, 1979 and go meet up with Steve Jobs and say, hey, my guy, I'll work for you whenever you start your company and just ride the Apple wave. So, yeah, you would change because there's things you wouldn't want to go over again, right? Like, there's things you just... Everybody says everything has a lesson learned. I don't believe that. Some things are just sucky, and there's no lesson learned to them. Other things are sucky, and you learn a lesson. But most things that I've done, which I have done some questionable ones, not really a lesson to be learned there at all. Just stupidity. Do not, and I repeat, youngsters, do not go outside your house at 2 o'clock in the morning to meet a woman that you met on Plenty of Fish at 2 in the morning and go to her house that night at 2 o'clock in the morning. Do not, for the love of God, do that. At least you're still
alive and she didn't kill you.
She didn't kill me. How stupid was I? But... well, I got him. See, and the problem is I can't tell half these stories because A, it would make me look like an idiot, and B, nobody would believe them. But that's one I can tell.
See, it's fun though. The thing is yeah, you'll look like an idiot, but it's still, I find it relaxing and funny because as stupid as you make yourself look, you're probably making somebody else piss their pants.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. All right. Story time, I'm at. I feel like I need to elaborate more on this, on how this occurred. So picture yourself in my shoes, AJ. You're, say, 19 years old, right? And you're doing your typical 19-year-old thing. You're sitting at home. You're playing your video games. You've talked to this girl for a week. She hits you up on your text messages and says the following. Hey, my nerves is bothering me. I don't want to be by myself tonight. I will come get you. Mind yourself that she is an hour away from where you're at least. give or take. This is 10:30 at night. You say, sure. You proceed to tell your grandfather you're going out with a girl that you met that night. Okay, well, okay, whatever. So you do this. You go outside. You give this woman directions at 12 o'clock in the morning. She goes to your other grandparents' house, not the house you directed her to go to. You walk to that driveway of your other grandparents' house to meet with said girlfriend. And then you get in her truck and you drive an hour and a half back with her 2 kids, which that should have been a red flag, to her apartment. And then the night goes from there. On the scale of stupidity, it is up to a 9. Would I ever do that in 2021? Absolutely not.
No. I would recommend not doing that.
But there is one of the millions that we can make 100 podcast episodes of decisions that Matt made that was not so smart. And see, a lot of people say, oh, I was thinking with another brain. I can't even use that as an excuse at this point. I was just being stupid. Like, there is no other words to describe that. So please.
I mean, I can picture it. You're like looking at your phone, you're reading all that, and you're like, man, could be fun.
Could be fun. Why not?
Could be interesting. Might be something fun to tell the people.
I'm like 10 years down the road. The one thing that stands out about me about that night is the crappy music he was listening to that night. Oh my God. I was like, what is this girl listening to? So that is one of the Matt stories that has never been told on air that is now told.
I know I brought this up earlier, but since you told the story, maybe I should tell you the story that I've been, wanting to tell you, and then maybe the people that are gonna tune into the Pony Express tonight.
All right, go ahead and tell it. Let's do it.
All right. So I do research either by myself or with my podcast group, on episodes that are coming up. And for October, we do Nerds Take Over October. But I think James and Susie are calling it Nerdtober. Nerds Take Over Nerdtober. I can't say it, so this isn't good.
She's gonna kill you.
So last night we were watching the 89 version of Pet Sematary, Stephen King's Pet Sematary. Okay. And Thursday we're watching the 2017 version, so we can compare them. Okay. And then talk about them. So they have a bearded dragon at their house that they keep in this beautiful cage, keeps him nice and warm. Well, we left his cage light on because, it's a scary movie and you have a bunch of scaredy shits watching a scary movie. So we used it as a nightlight. Keep him nice and warm still because it's usually on a timer. So we're about halfway through the movie and the damn light goes off. And Susie goes, oh, that's right, I just changed the timer while I'm having heart palpitations because the light turned off. I literally jumped, I don't know, at least off the couch. I at least, was like, nope, screw this, I'm out, scary movie, goodbye, see you later.
Wow.
And I'm like, I don't even know if I want to watch the rest of this movie. And because my heart literally left, my soul left my body. I don't do scary movies. I only do them for the show. And I do them because it's going to be entertaining as hell to talk about how much of a scaredy bitch AJ was.
Well, I will tell you this one. I watched a movie called Stigmata, right?
Never heard of it.
Man, for the love of all that's holy, do not watch that movie. I dreamed about that stupid movie for 6 months afterwards.
Oh, no thank you. No thanks.
Oh my God. And now the girlfriend wants me to watch Spit on Your Grave this Halloween.
Which, I'm just saying, if any of your listeners or you want to go back and listen to how much of a scaredy bitch I am before we get to these October episodes, right. We did Nerds Taking Over Halloween last year, and we did some really creepy fucking scary movies last year, like Hereditary, The Orphan, The Grudge. I'm just throwing this out there. Go listen to those, and please go to the bathroom before, because when they throw it to me and I have to explain to them, oh, AJ, why don't you remember this part of the movie? I don't know. I was probably under the freaking covers.
Oh, man. Well, see, here's the good thing about it. I'm going to explain this YouTube friendly. So the good thing about what kind of YouTube friendly, it don't matter. I've got not for kids on it anyway. So my favorite part of the scary movie with the girlfriend is the excuse to get under the cover and to proceed to bury your head in the cover into her and to say, nope, not watching it. That is my favorite part of any scary movie.
Like the way we do Halloween and Christmas is like we all get together on a night. We watch the movie and then record it. So it's like we all have like fresh like memories of what we just watched.
Right.
And a lot of times it's like, AJ, what about you? Nope. I don't know why I listen to you. Why? I don't even know why I watch this.
Nope.
And then last night, after the movie, me and my wife are home. I'm going to the bathroom, and then she decides to play this little trick on me, my wife.
Oh, my
God.
God.
My co-host, my wife.
Oh, no.
If you've ever seen Pet Sematary, you'll understand this.
Continue.
I'm in the bathroom, and she's literally in our room playing cat meowing, like on YouTube. And I hear it very faintly, and like I can't pinpoint where it's coming from. I'm flipping the fuck out, and then I hear this kid laughing, like, and then she tells me afterwards that she actually pulled up the kid from the movie, you know, saying what he was saying, and I'm like freaking the fuck out in the bathroom. I'm in the shower, waiting for something like to pull, like from Psycho,
like to pull the shower curtain back, and you're done.
Yeah, I'm freaking the fuck out, and I'm 28 years old. I'm a big dude. Nope, I don't do scary movies, and my wife knew that.
See, that is the problem. See, you married one, and the other one's the best friend. So now you're just kind of double teamed at this point. You know what I mean?
I'm screwed.
Yeah,
really. And I can't wait for people to hear this. And please comment below. Listen to this. Comment below. What are some of your like scary moments? Like, have you seen a movie? Does it affect you? Do you like start hearing things like right after seeing it? I'm actually kind of curious to see the comments underneath this. And please check us out. You know, Nerds Doing Nerd Things, and come join the laughter. We do a lot of movie commentary. We bullshit a lot. Like, I mean, completely bullshit a lot.
Yeah, and it's a great podcast, guys. We'll cover one more topic, and then we got to get ready to roll out of here because we got to go do my day job as a broadcaster. Not a podcast host. That's not my day job. That's my nighttime job. Well, no, it's the other way around because I broadcast. Never mind. So did you get a chance to watch the episode? Because you're a wrestling fan. Have you watched the Heels show yet?
No, I'm actually waiting for them to finish the season. I'm going to subscribe to them for like the free trial, watch everything within the free trial, and then just let it run out.
All right, so we'll revisit that topic once the season's over because I don't want to spoil anything. It's actually really good. But that brings up another point, you saying that. The media going to the subscription-based kind of product, you end up spending just as much or more than a regular cable bill at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like, we don't have cable at my house anymore.
But you end up having like 1,500 subscriptions.
Oh, God. Not that many, but yeah, I could see where you're going with that.
Because, you know, I look at it and I'm like, well, I need this for this. Oh, this is going to be an exclusive to that. Oh, I got to have Netflix.
Now you're making me think.
Yeah.
Damn it, Matt.
Well, it's the truth.
I got Disney Plus.
Yep.
Because, you know, I'm a huge Disney nut, like insanely Disney nut.
Right.
I got that, and I'm literally opening up my phone.
Oh God! Don't tell my girlfriend that. She'll be over there with you and your wife, and I'll not see her for the next 100 years.
I pay for YouTube Red because I love the fact of no commercials.
Yep, I love YouTube Red too because it gives a good count to my channel if you watch my show. So continue.
There you go. I have Paramount, Funimation, and actually, the best thing you could really do is if you have a group of friends, I pay for Disney, I pay for a couple other things. One of my buddies has Peacock, another one of my friends has Funimation, which I get all my animes off of.
Right.
So, and I have another friend who does Prime Video. Well, I have Prime Video, but I use his shit because once he stars it, I'm like, I don't have to find it. Click.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I get HBO Max through my father. So it's like I pay for a couple, my buddies pay for a couple, my father has one or two that I leech off of. We all leech off of each other.
Yeah, and that's the best way to do it, right?
My biggest bill is the Wi-Fi bill.
I do the same thing with my sister. I'll just be like, hey, here's the password and stuff to whatever. Have at it. Like, it don't bother me. Like, I will gladly pay the fee. Might as well. There's no sense in paying the fee twice, right? There's literally no sense. There's not enough content on there, in my opinion, any of them to do it twice.
Yeah.
But I think the one I've liked the most here recently is probably Discovery Plus, just because I can cheat and watch a show a week early. And I still have regular cable, which really...
Oh, boy.
I do that for NASCAR. There's literally no other reason for me to have regular cable at this point.
Well, I have... I borrow my buddy's... I think it's Hulu? I think it's Hulu Live.
Yeah, Hulu Live.
And since we're in the same geographical region, it lets us both use it at the same time.
Right.
And that's how I get my racing, because it's either on Fox or NBC, which are both on Hulu Live TV.
Yeah, exactly. So it works out that way, right?
Oh yeah, we again, all my friends, my father, we all mooch off of each other. And it works out good because that means nobody's overpaying.
Exactly, which is what we're all trying to avoid.
No shit.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I won't do any tiers on the YouTube. I don't want anybody doing that. Like, the whole premium tier, no, I'm not going to lock content behind the paywall. That's not going to happen.
See, I can't wait to get our YouTube going because we're probably not going to have tier sets either, but I can't wait to... Because we have a bunch of video episodes that are just waiting to be edited. And Susie, you do a wonderful job with them. I'm happy you're finally in your new home, so you're going to start cranking them out. Maybe one or two a week or one a week. It's going to be fun to see our YouTube start loading up with videos of episodes.
I will tell you, Susie, what he's trying to say is hurry the hell up.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I know better than to tell her that, because if I tell her that, she's just not going to do it. It just to spite me. No, but we have, I think, 3 or 4 videos up on our YouTube now. Our latest one is our 100th episode trivia game.
Oh, nice.
Which you'll like this because I formatted it like a WWE gauntlet match.
Oh, nice.
And it's just nerd trivia, like Harry Potter, Star Wars, DC, Marvel, and then a bunch of other categories under mixed bag.
Right.
But she does a phenomenal job with editing them, and she's got a whole catalog to go from. And when she starts them, I know how she is. Once she starts something, she usually just starts cranking stuff out. Until she either falls asleep at the keyboard or screw this, I'm going to go upstairs and fall asleep.
Yep, I'm the same way. Well, folks, me and AJ's got to go get ready for our broadcast here tonight. And we get to check this out. Remember, I think this is episode 2 or 3 of the Behind the Mic podcast with Matt. We got to get a logo for this thing. But thank you, AJ, for coming on board for this one. This one's been fun. Yeah,
absolutely. I plan on being back for a couple more if you have me.
Yeah, I'll have you. We will have more AEW to talk about and more crazy stories. I got so many lined up.
More shenanigans.
Yeah.
I got a couple NASCAR stories you might get a kick out of.
Yep.
But we'll save those for next time.
Yeah, and my diecast addiction. We'll talk about that one the next time, too.
Oh, God. Don't start.
Yeah, exactly. But, folks, it's been Matt and AJ with the Nerds Doing Nerds Thing podcast. You can check them out on Facebook, Spotify, Google Podcast, let me say iHeartRadio as well. I think I got them all right.
Oh, there's plenty more. If you just type in Nerds Doing Nerd Things in Google, you'll find us wherever we're at.
Yeah, all over the world. They're styling and profiling. Woo!
Woo!
There we go. All right, folks. We'll see you next time.